Shalom, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bashim, Yahushai Bashim, Kakadash, and double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect and the Akim that teach on the highways and the byways in fear, truth, and sincerity. This is your brother Rai Banyamian here to share our lesson. And as per the article, it says brace your bank accounts. Here's how your taxes and power bills are going up. Now, this is some of the news that's from up north, what's going on over there in Canada. And, since the narrative is that they're trying to bring in a global monetary and surveillance system across the world, right? Pretty much every country's leader is following the playbook. So, since the West is more advanced than the two world countries, we gotta expect an acceleration in different policies to bring about this end, right? To bring about a new world order. So I'm gonna share this news article. I'll give a few precepts and close it out. Lord willing, it'll be edified unto the elect. All right, so things are gonna continue to get worse for the pockets of you Americans. So it's coming, what I'm saying? Things are moving across the world, but it looks like the Most High is saving, the best for last, aka America, aka Babylon the Great, right? This is super CBC News posted today, July 1st, 2023. It says gas is expected to rise by 3.26 cents per liter and diesel by just under 4 cents. It says the price of electricity, gas, diesel, and home heating fuel are expected to increase in Newfoundland and Labrador on Canada Day. It says temperatures and the only thing rising this weekend in Newfoundland and Labrador. A few things are on the burner. Some coming straight from Ottawa. For those keeping an eye on their bills, here is a list of taxes the residents of Newfoundland can expect to rise on July 1st. 1. Electricity. Electricity rates are going to increase between 3.4% and 6.7% for residential customers. Commercial users can expect a 7 to 8.4% increase. That's large. Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro made that announcement earlier this week. The changes are the result of Hydro's annual rate adjustment, which happens each year on July the 1st and is independent of the Muskrat Falls project. Now, I'll say this in between that even here in the U.S., the prices of heating oil and electricity has went up too. And as you'll see, the months are flying by fast. We are now past the halfway point of the year. We're in July. And so let's see what this winter is going to look like, Lord willing. Second list of increases says gas and diesel. It says both motor fuels are increasing on Saturday. Gas by 3.26 cents per liter and diesel by just under 4 cents as a result of the looming federal carbon tax. I forgot about that. They did say, at least over here in the U.S., that they were going to start taxing drivers for every mile that they drove. And one of the ways that they're going to do that is through a registration every time, especially in the states that have annual registration. They check how much miles they drove for that year. So, which the average is about 15,000 miles, 12 to 15,000 miles average. So whatever the rate is, they could charge at times the miles driven. Plus, they're going to add state and other taxes attached to it. So a time of hurt is coming, man. I noticed that they are not issuing major as far as like raises for people, so they're backing people into a corner. So civil war is coming, man. Think about it. If your bills keep going up and they keep adding more taxes to your situation, and your ways of means of bringing in income is not going up, what do you think is going to happen? You know what I mean? You're going to be backed into a corner until you can't back up anymore, man. People are going to start fighting. Says furthermore, federal clean fuel regulations are kicking in at the same time, but it's unknown how much that will impact customers. Finance Minister Siobhan Cody said Wednesday they're both federal government programs. The end goal is to reduce carbon emissions to net zero, and they're doing that with the introduction of the electronic vehicles. They're trying to reduce the amount of gasoline and diesel vehicles by 2030, 2035, as much as possible. All right. And also reducing the amount of gasoline stoves that are in resident households. Next thing on the list of prices to be increased, it says home heating fuel. It says over 40,000 homeowners in Newfoundland and Labrador use oil for home heating. It says the cost is expected to rise by 17 cents per liter on Saturday, adding further strain on a heat source that has spiked in price over the last couple of years. That include stove oil used in in parts of Labrador. Remember, I just mentioned, the gasoline stove. It says the province's Public Utilities Board, which regulates the cost of fuel, set its weekly published fuel price updates for all heating fuels without taxation, and HST is applied at the point of sale. The federal fuel charge is being treated the same charge at the time and point of sale. It says just over a week ago, before the federally imposed carbon tax is set to be introduced, the province repealed its own legislation, so it will no longer collect a provincial carbon tax as of July 1st. The provincial government has been vocal in disapproving the federal government's approach, and we're going to see these things happen. The book of Mark chapter 3 and 24 talk about a kingdom divided, so you're going to have a lot of pulling and tugging between local, state, and federal government. Even over here in Babylon, same system. The Canadians, the British, and the Americans are one people. They are the same people. So what happened there is gonna unequivocally is gonna come here. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but had an end. You understand? So, with all these divisions and stuff are happening, even at the top level, it's gonna come to an end to their people. Yeah, I mean, think about like they said, a house. If a man and his woman cannot, she decides to live under his rulership, as decreed and prescribed by the Most High, then he would have to give a bill of divorcement, right, and separate, right? So, and that is going to be the end of their household. So the same with governments are divided in local, state, and federal governments. But going back to what they said about imposing, federally imposing a carbon tax, that's an unrighteous decree. You know what I mean? Because most of these waste and stuff that's going in the environment, that's going in the water, and is affecting the people through the air and the food is from these major corporations and not by the the lower people, themselves, or the peasants as they call them. And I speak to that in the book of Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. And all these things is what is gonna cause civil war. When they keep backing people into a corner, pressuring them and destroying their way of life. Especially these these middle class Edomites. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree, and that right on grievousness which they have prescribed." Those are laws. Those are unrighteous decrees. Laws. What I mean? But let's go into that word for edification's sake.
Strong's H 2711. Chekek.
It says a degree of resolve, a statute, action prescribed. Strong's definition says an enactment, a resolution, a decree, or thought. Right, so that goes into laws, and that concludes the article. Right, so men expect these things to come to Babylon, the great aka America. You already see what's going on over there in France, and they are fighting and looting. You know what happened to the dude that was shot by the police and stuff. You know what I mean? Because people are tired, man. And so people are tired of the treatment of these police. So they're going to get tired eventually, especially over here in Babylon, of the treatment by their local and state government to impose unrighteous decrees on them. All right? And to destroy, their peace and their way of life. All right? So if a kingdom be divided against itself, it shall not stand. So civil war is coming. So repent. Offend less and fear the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So Lord will end this lesson was edifying unto elect until the next time. Shalom.